Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Katie Lou. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm sorry I've not been around much. I do apologise. I've had a lot of things going on, as I'm pretty sure you can imagine. I'm coming up to my 1 year sobriety. Yay! And I've had a photo shoot, I've had interviews with the Guardian newspaper, which will be published very soon. I'm just waiting for a date on that, but I will let you know. So the reason for this video and the next couple of videos are going to be part of a series. After I put out the video about my addiction and what had happened and what I'd been through, I got asked a lot of questions, and some of these questions were basically straight to the point, wanting the answers. Now, I've spoke to a couple of people and they said that they would prefer 10 to 15 minute videos on one specific question that they've asked, and I can go into more detail about these questions. So the next couple of videos you'll see, I'll probably be in my Green Day t-shirt still, sat here doing exactly the same thing, because I'm just going to keep rolling with it, keep going and answer all your questions that you've asked me. So let's get into it. One of the first questions I was asked by quite a few people is, when did you realise you were an addict? Now, for a lot of addicts, in regards to any sort of addiction, I think you're pretty unaware to it for quite a while, because it just becomes normality. You just sort of get on with it, you just do what you do, you go through the motions. I realised I was an addict in June of 2018. I was going on holiday, we were getting the cases out like you do, getting really excited, and as I mentioned in my previous video, I opened the case and the first thing that I planned to put in there was a box of 100 codemol. Now that is dangerous, obviously, and not good. That's the only way I can really describe it. My priority over everything, before insurance and medical records and things like that that you may possibly have to take on holiday with you, was a box of cocodamol. So it sort of hit me a bit. I'd sort of put it in my case and gone to work, and I was just going through my day and I was taking these tablets. And then it sort of clicked, like, well, what would I do if I woke up and I didn't have these tablets, or I didn't have enough tablets to take on holiday, or these tablets weren't available to me on holiday? What would I do? And that's when it sort of hit me how many I'd been taking, how long I'd been taking them for, the severe fear that I was getting because I didn't have these tablets on hand. If I used to run out of them at work, I used to panic. If I didn't have some spare ones in my handbag, I used to panic. So that was really the day that it hit me, because I thought, oh, I've got a problem. I've got a severe problem that plenty of other people can see, and I'm only just seeing it now, and that was scary. I think my family and friends knew I had a problem. I wouldn't necessarily say that they knew I was addicted, because I hid it very well from them, but they definitely knew I had a problem. Now, when I called my GP and I was just like, look, I'm an addict, I need help, and I told them how many I was taking, how many they were giving me, how easily I was getting my hands on them, and they were just like, well, I'm really sorry, there's nothing we can do for you. And then I spoke to the Frank helpline. I will link all these details down below for Frank. I spoke to the Frank helpline and they were like, yeah, you've definitely got an addiction. And I think hearing that from a different person, from a professional that deals with addicts every single day, that was like a bit of a wake-up call, like, oh my god, I am an addict, and I've been an addict for a hell of a long time without even realising it. The hardest thing was having to accept it, having to come to terms with it, having to be like, you are an addict, Katie. You are addicted to these tablets. If you don't have these tablets, you are going to crumble. And that was something that I tell myself every day. I was so scared that when I acknowledged I was an addict and I started telling other people I was an addict, that is when the pressure of being an addict would become too much, so to speak. Addiction controls you in a way that you are completely oblivious to. It gets a hold over you. It sinks its claws into you, and slowly it becomes a puppet master, and you're just its little puppet on a string, bobbling about, doing whatever it says without even realising it. I was addicted for quite a long time before I even realised I actually was an addict. To me, I just enjoyed the feeling of the tablets, and not once did it ever cross my mind that I was addicted to these pills. And that is horrendous to think of. It's scary to think of that this addict, your inner addict, is going, okay, keep taking them, keep going, keep having them, you know, you'll be fine. When in reality, you're just damaging yourself. And don't get me wrong, it's a really, really hard thing to come to terms with. It's a very, very big thing to admit, but you have to be the first person to admit it. It can't be anybody else, it can't be a family member, it can't be a friend. If anybody turns around to you and says, Katie, you are an addict, go sort yourself out, it's not going to work. You have to be the person that realises it and processes it and acknowledges and accepts it, because it is such a harrowing and disabling situation to go through. I know a lot of people watched my last video and they were like, I can relate to this, myself I'm an addict, or one of my loved ones is an addict, or my friend's an addict, or I went through something similar to this years ago. And I think it's a lot more common than people let on. I had friends and acquaintances message me saying, oh my god, I'm so glad you shared your story, because now I can come forward and talk to you and I can ask you. And there were so many people that messaged me that I had no idea could even get hands on painkillers or took painkillers or anything like that. And that's the hardest thing. But not once did I turn around to them after they tell me the amount that they were taking and say, you're an addict. Because one, that doesn't help anybody, and two, that's not my place to tell somebody that they're an addict. It's nobody's place to tell you that you're an addict. It's got to come from within, and it's got to come from your heart. And I think that once you do acknowledge it, you then can start moving forward in life, and you can start planning your journey and the way you're going to tackle it, and the way you're going to process it, and the way you're going to approach not only the addiction itself, but your friends and family, your employees, your colleagues. It's not just as easy as saying, I'm an addict, let's go sort it out. There's so much more to it. Being an addict is not something I'm ashamed of now. I was at the time, but I was an oblivious addict. So for a lot of years I didn't realise I was an addict, and now I can fully accept it. I was an addict. I'm still going through it. I'm still going through withdrawal. I still have withdrawals every day. I still think about tablets all the time. But I'm just short of a year clean now of tablets. These videos were requested, and I know that to some people these videos may seem pointless, and to some people these videos might seem a bit useless. But if I can share my story, and I can tell you how I went through things and how I acknowledged things and where my journey started to where I am now, I hope I can help at least one person. If you do have any more questions or anything you want answering in further detail, then please do let me know and I will happily answer them for you. As I said, there's going to be quite a few videos that will follow this. This was just the first one to get the ball rolling, I suppose. But yeah, I realised I was an addict when I was going on holiday, and the first thing that I packed was a box of 100 cocodamol. And that's when something inside me clicked to say, you need to get yourself sorted out. So, as you'll see in the next video, there's more questions, more things to be answered, and a lot more truth and honesty to come. And some of these questions are very, very difficult to answer, so please bear that in mind. Please be gentle, be kind to one another, support people because you never know what they're going through, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know if this has been helpful, unhelpful, if you want anything else answering, and I will see you very soon.